There it
Okay.
goes. Okay, perfect. Perfect. We love the Zoom technology. So first of all, I just want to say thank you guys for allowing us to be here. We have worked very closely with Claire and also with Pat over it's been several months that we've been talking about this partnership and how we want to develop this program for everybody here in Idaho as well as anywhere else. So we're going to introduce some course content that we have developed together. But first of all, I kind of want to take a step back, introduce myself, kind of give you a little bit more of my background, give you the background of NITA, how we came to be and how the partnership came to be. Once I kind of give you a little bit of background of NITA, then we can kind of go into the courses that we're going to offer, how that works for you guys and how you can enroll and go forward as well. So I just want to say thank you and I appreciate everybody being here. I love seeing everybody here. This is absolutely great. So just a couple of things with NITA. Again, my name's Sandra von Eschenbach. I'm the Executive Vice President, also the co-founder of NITA. My business partner is Steve Cassell. He's the president and he's the chief academic officer working with all of our content and is the president overseeing a lot of the bigger picture items that we work on. He really wanted to be here today. And as I think some of y'all heard me tell Claire earlier, he is in travels, coming back from a vacation. And I really think he was going to land in hot to try to make it to our presentation. And I haven't heard from him via text, which means that I'm sure he is still in flights. And as we all know, flights get delayed. So he would have loved to have been here, but y'all are kind of stuck with me instead. So that's what we've got going. But Steve and I founded NITA together about 15 years ago. I'm going to really age myself and tell you that Steve and I have been working together for over 30 years together in the investigative industry. As Claire mentioned, we are based out of Central Florida. We're here in Central Florida working with, and we're based with NITA, but we do offer training on a national level. I won't read this to you, but just as a little bit of Steve's bio. Steve's been in the industry, gosh, for almost 40 years, started an investigative company here in Florida. That's where I first met him. Steve worked on the operations side of it, the licensing side of it with all of our operations managers and our investigators, where I did more of the back end. I learned the industry kind of from the back end going up. I did a lot of the marketing. I also worked on a lot of the admin, like learning how to write those reports, how our investigators wrote their reports, then worked with clients for their client special instructions. Because as you all guys know, in the investigative industry, everybody wants to report different. And then that kind of springboarded me into the licensing part of it. So I know, as Claire was just kind of going through, every state's different. We all know that. I'm trying to learn every state. We pretty much are covered in all the states where we can be covered. So I have my license here in Florida as an investigator. Steve has his license. Here's mine if you want to read it. Steve has his license in about, I think he's up to 30 states now in the investigative industry. So we've been working together for quite a while on the investigative industry. NITA came to be when we were first working at one of the companies, and the last company that Steve and I worked with, that Steve actually founded, and I was one of the part of the initial team that built the company. It's now up to, I think, about 750, almost 800 employees on a national level. So, we started from the ground up and built a very successful investigative company. But in that is where Steve and I started with NITA, and this is the reason why we're here. And this is just a little bit of our mission statement. I think it aligns very well with everything from the PIAI as well. But we wanted to find that and offer that rewarding online experience. As you guys know, as we guys know, we're super busy. Nobody necessarily has time out of their day to go to a 40-hour course and sit in a classroom. Or maybe sometimes you have to take your weekends up to sit in a classroom. So about 15 years ago, we saw the need to put on training online for private investigators. 15 years ago, it was kind of unheard of. People a little bit laughed at us, said that we weren't going to make it, because then everybody still wanted that classroom training. But we did part of our statement, and our mission is to provide this online training where it's affordable, is flexible, and it's a good experience for everybody that comes through at NITA. We also teach and want to teach the required state and board approved curriculum. So every state's different, as we've kind of already talked about. We do meet all state and exceed all state requirements for curriculum in the states where we do offer some curriculum. And this is the biggest part of our statement where I think we really align with everyone in Idaho, is that we want to develop the skills and the leadership needed for investigators to be very, very successful in their careers. Kind of what Claire was talking about, having that additional industry knowledge so that you can be the best investigator that you can be out there representing our industry as we go forward. So we really wanted to make sure that we aligned with the right associations, the right companies, so that we can have, that integrity within our industry. Couple of things that we do offer, the four big categories that we offer. So I just kind of want to give you an overview of what we offer so you can kind of see how we got to where we are and where we are with you guys today here in Idaho. But we offer 4 different categories of training, and I'll kind of go through each one a little bit, but just to overview it, we offer that state approved pre-licensing training. So in the states where you have to have training before you get your license, we have that online, as well as continuing education in the states where it's required. It's only required, I think, in 17 or 18 states. Then this is where we align with you guys again so very well, is we offer a full line of professional development training. So we've taken our continuing education training, created the professional development training. So if you need additional training above and beyond your knowledge, or you want to refresh your knowledge, or you have a staff of 5, 10, 15, or 20 that you want to train more on some investigative industry topics, we have base surveillance, ethics, report writing. We have about 30, 35 different topics. So we have that professional development category so that we can help develop and train investigators in the industry as well. And then the fourth category that we have, and this kind of was an interesting one, how we came to do this. When Steve was trying to get licensed in several different states, we kind of found that there wasn't any training out there to help you and to prepare you for that state exam. So in several states, you do have to take an exam, or your designee on your license has to take an exam to get licensed. So we got with our staff, our content staff, we now provide courses that include all of the required reading materials, the statutes, the administrative codes, the laws, and the additional things that the additional items that the state requires to review so that you can take that exam. That's all well and good, because anybody can get that offline. But what we provide in our training is we provide anywhere from 150 to 250 additional questions throughout some quizzes. So we'll ask questions relating to the materials that you've read, so that you can have that practice. I mean, I don't know how you guys are, but it's been a long time since I've taken a multiple choice. I had to take that kind of quiz. So that's what a lot of people come back and tell us with our state exam prep, is that it was good. It was a good reminder about how to take a multiple choice test, and then it goes through all the information that you need. So those are the 4 buckets of categories of training that we offer. So what we, in our core and our heart of what we do from our mission statement, we want to make sure we have this safe, secure, and online digital platform for investigators to train, and security professionals to train online. Like I said, we're state and board approved. There's 21 different states where we are approved for training. So we're more than just one state type company. We provide training in those different states. And again, through the 4 different categories in all these different states, we have over about 200 plus unique online training courses. And I put the plus there because we actually started, and I didn't add it to the presentation, we actually, and this is where I think you guys might like some of this too, is that we have some Zoom online instructor-led training. So one of my staff content writers, she teaches 2 classes a month that's online with a live instructor. Some states require that in your CE, and then a lot of people just like it. Just if you don't want to go to the classroom, but you don't want to do all the reading, we have that as well. So that's why that 200 kind of varies as we go along. Just to provide and dial down just a little bit more so you can kind of understand what we do at NITA, that pre-licensing, those are the states and the security and the investigative side where we offer that training. In Florida, if you want to become a PI, you have to take 40 hours of training before you can even apply for your license. Kind of an example of that pre-licensing training. We're approved training providers from all the governing boards, all the agencies there in the state to offer this kind of training. Then additionally, once you get your license, a lot of states require that continuing education. And we're 17 states in the investigative side where we offer this training, and about 10 states on the security side, each having 30 plus classes and almost 200 hours in each of those categories with a continuing education. And just to dial down a little bit further, we kind of already touched on this in that professional development training. That's one thing where we align with you guys a little bit more, is that we do have over 350 hours through 75 different courses that you guys can take, like I said, on surveillance, GPS, skip tracing, all those kinds of topics there on our website as well. And then we've kind of covered the state exam. I think it's 19 states where we offer it. There's a couple of states that we're still looking to add to that, but we've got the bulk of the states on that state exam prep. And just to kind of show you where that, like I said earlier, where we have grown on the national level, is that these are all the state certifications that we have in the different states, and in Florida and in Georgia, the places in Texas and California, all the different states where we have gone through some sort of approval process, either through the state board or through the association, through somebody, for us to have the state approved training curriculum that we have there. So that kind of gives you a little bit of history of how we started. Like I said, it's been about 15 years offering this training. We have thoroughly enjoyed being able to do this, and have enjoyed our growth as we grow with associations like you guys and investigators across the country. A couple of things of why NITA, like why us. Obviously we have a large variety of offerings, but we want to make sure that it's affordable, that it's flexible. And again, I'm very big on that it's user friendly. Like, I don't want it to be 1 or 2 clicks for you guys to get to where you need to get for your training. Yes, we offer a lot of courses, but I want to be able to dial down as people get to our training. We actually are about to go through, we went through about 5 years ago an audit with our IT company to see how we could get it down to 1 or 2 clicks. And we're actually due to go through that again at the end of this year, so that we can make our website even more user friendly and available for our students. So we are always making sure that we're staying a little bit of the cutting edge with that. Once you do enroll, and all of our students, you're going to enroll in a student portal. And I'll really walk through that details of that for you guys here in just a second. But it's a very secure portal in the sense that you have a username, you have a very unique and identifiable password. I don't even know your passwords. It's that secure. So then you know that you have security in your portal with all the information that's there. We provide a repository of all of your training, as well as all of your training certificates that you can log in at any time. Again, it's online, you're accessed 24/7 to get to all of your information and all of your training. And the other thing that I think really sets us apart is that I have a great staff that works under me. I also do a lot of my own customer service. And so instead of having to wait on the phone for someone to say, well, let me ask Sandra, I kind of answer my phones a lot on my own as well, so that I can make sure that we're getting the information to people as quickly as possible. So during business hours, again, like Claire said, business hours, maybe 1 o'clock for her or 4 o'clock for me. We've had challenges trying to get together, but as long as it's been in business hours, we're available through emails, through our phone. I return my phone calls within 24 hours. I have a chat on our website as well. It's not turned on right now because I didn't want to get interrupted while we were having this presentation, but we are available. I have some students that just come through and I never talk to. I have a lot of students that come through, and as they have a question, they ask, and we're here to answer them. We want to make sure that we're providing as much customer service as we can as we go along. Just a couple more things about NITA of our successes over the last 13 to 15 years. We are the #1 training academy, online training academy for investigators and security officers. Nobody offers as much training as we do in those 2 industries for the pre-licensing and the continuing education type training. I've already kind of said this with our 200+ courses. We do get it's a 4.8, sometimes 4.9 out of 5-star ranking on Google reviews. Most everybody that's come through lets us know, when they do let us know. Of course, you get the bad too. So everybody tells you the bad first, but we've heard the good. About 97% of our students would highly recommend somebody else to our training. And then if you take my content staff and me and Steve, and you add all of our combined years of industry related experience, it comes up over to 200+ years of industry experience. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of NITA. Thanks where Claire and I kind of started connecting too, as well, is that she had found us through some of our successes and through our website and through what we can offer. So just kind of wanted you guys to know that we're not just some company sitting in the basement somewhere offering one course. We do provide courses on a national level And we're growing and growing as we can. We probably add anywhere from 5 to maybe 10, depending on the year, additional courses each year, staying on top of the topics, staying on top of what's trending, and making sure that we're providing that great information. Because if you've taken a course from us 2 years ago and you come back and you want to take continuing education again, we want to make sure that you have a variety of classes to choose from. So now I've kind of given you the history of NITA, of me and Steve, and what's all gone on and how we've gotten to this point here. I really want to walk through that online experience that you would have as a student, as well as we'll get into here the nuts and bolts of the courses that we're going to work with you guys here in Idaho. So the first thing I want to show you is that this is just a screenshot of our website. Our website's NITA Inc., like incorporated, nitainc.com. Will take you to our homepage, and that's a screenshot of the top part of our homepage, which again talks about the different categories that we do offer of our training. Everything that I just kind of went over, but specifically, let's talk about what we can offer to you guys and what we've worked on, the announcement that we have today about our Idaho training for investigators here in Idaho. So if you were to go to our website right now, up in the very top, just a taskbar like everybody else has across their website. If you click on courses, there's a pull down of all the different courses, some of the different categories that we just talked about. We have added a Private Investigator Association of Idaho investigator certification. So you guys are listed up there with our top courses. When you click on that link, it will take you directly, and I didn't copy the whole thing, I just got the top part of it. It will take you directly to, this is a dedicated landing page for all the training, that we're going to offer here in Idaho. Just kind of a summary of what we're going to offer and what we've worked with the PIAI to make sure that we're offering. Claire and Pat did a great job. They went through all of our training and said, hey, this is what's going to work best for us. This is what's going to work best for the investigators of Idaho. Grabbed what we offer and then incorporated the exam that you guys have offered as well with that CPI program. We've combined them together into one course. So you've got some training modules and the training lessons and topics from NITA that are applicable to you guys, as well as in the course exam, which is that 100-question multiple choice true false type questions. So we have a dedicated landing page just for these courses. So what are the topics that we're going to talk about that Claire and Pat and I have gone through? First of all, we're going to go through all of the PIAI information. If you are a new member to PIAI and you start to take this training, you do have to fill out that application. We've included didn't mean to do that. We've included an application in that training for new members. So if as a new member, you don't have to download a PDF, try to figure out how to fill it out and upload it. It's right there in the course, and we've made that as easy as we can for you guys. We've also added all the laws and regulations that are applicable to private investigators as you guys work in Idaho, as well as surveillance, different types of surveillance that you're going to do as a private investigator, the equipment needed. Most of you guys know all this, I'm sure, but can be a good refresh or for those new to the industry. Surveillance and fraud is a great topic. It talks about how fraud is part of what we work with and how surveillance and investigations can help mitigate some of those costs. And then the technology and the private investigator, I mean, literally, you could probably talk about that for weeks and days and conferences, but the social media on the technology that can help you be a better investigator. As well as we have topics on skip tracing, locating, background, GPS, those all kind of tie in together, but each one with their own separate topic. Report writing, of course, if you don't write your report, nobody ever knows that you were there and that you did your investigation. So we have a great part of the report writing to include then a professional ethics classes on topics on how to be the best ethical and professional that you can be. So those are the topics that Pat and Claire and I decided, or Pat and Claire really chose, and then I helped put together, are the parts of the course that we're going to have for you guys in this first training. So we're going to offer two types of trainings. So the first one is going to be if you're a current member. So if you're already a member of PIAI, the course that we just talked about, the topics we just talked about, that's going to cost that $299, which will include all of the modules, the topics, We use the word modules. It's also lessons and topics, depends on how you want to look at it, that are geared for the Idaho private investigator. And then you'll end up with the exam and that certificate of completion. We do want to make sure, and we do have a checkbox that as soon as you start that course, you are going to check and verify that you are a member. So you can't just come in and take the cheaper course and not be a member. We will check that. And we want to make sure that as a member, you are meeting all the eligibility requirements. We have those listed on our website, as well as they're listed on the website for the PIAI. I just didn't include them here because you guys know where they are. So that's for current members if you want to come take the certification. If you are a new member and you're new coming into the PIAI, coming into Idaho, we're going to bundle the course for you. So in this bundled course, you'll get the same course as the current member is going to get with the same exam, the same certification. However, for that $449, it will include a 1-year membership to PIAI as well as that background check. So it's the same course, but it depends on what path you're coming in. Are you coming in as a new member? Or are you coming in as an already existing member? At this point, I'm just going to take a small break to see if there's any questions. And I think this is maybe where, Clara, you wanted to do the raffle. I do have a little bit more to kind of talk about the online student experience, but wanted to see at this point if anybody had any questions.
Yeah, so as far as questions go, guys, I'm going to be watching the chat. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and we'll pass. Actually, you know what? Let's take like 2 minutes. If you'd like, put your message in the chat. If you'd like, just put your mic on and ask Sandra directly your question. Either way, I will watch the chat. We have already a question. Do you have anything for DC-based investigators? And I'll let you answer that, Sandra. But Chris, let's hold off on the raffle because I'm still seeing people adding names. I think maybe we should wait to the end. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right.
Yeah, if anybody has questions, y'all can put them in the chat. For DC-based investigators, really what we have is the professional development. We don't have any pre-licensing courses or continuing education in DC as we speak right now. But yeah, y'all continue to put your questions in the chat and I'll be glad to answer those at the end. But again, just to kind of summarize, we have that one course for investigators in Idaho. It's just whether you're going to be a new member coming in and you're going to have the membership form filled out, or you're an existing member, you're going to verify that you're an existing member, and then you're going to take that training. Just to kind of walk you through a little bit of the process so that you can understand, like I talked about, it's a secure enrollment. So when you choose the class that you want to take, you're going to check. I mean, it has very on the listing of the courses, it will say whether you're a current member or a new member. You'll add it to your cart and you'll check out. When you check out, we take all sorts of credit cards, debit cards, Google Pay, Apple Pay, PayPal, Venmo. We have them all, as well as we have a partnership with Affirm, kind of like PayPal Pay in 4 with Affirm. If you click on Pay with Affirm, then you can set up a payment plan in 3, 6 or 12 months if the price is just a little bit too high for you right now. So you'd add the course to your cart, check out like you would any e-commerce type platform. You'll get an immediate, some of this information is just dummy information because I didn't want to give out everybody else's information, but then you'll get an immediate pop-up that's saying, hey, here's your order. It did complete. It did go through. So then you know for sure that you've taken all the steps to enroll in the training. You'll get 2 emails from us. The first one will be, hey, you've created your account. And the second one will look like this. That will talk about your account. It will also have your username, a link to get back into the training on our website, as well as your secure password. So you get the emails confirmation. I would just say, as we do with all emails, there's a chance if you have Gmail, it goes into your promotions or your spams folder. Just watch for that, because if you're not used to getting emails from me, that's where it's going to show up. So that's where your emails are going to be. Then you're going to have a chance. So click on that. Like I said, click on that link to your account. You're going to do your username and password, log right back in. We do have the ability, if you lost your password and want to change your password, same as any other site, you just click there and you can change it. What I wanted to show you is that as you log in, this is what your account page is going to look like. Again, this is just kind of one of my sample pages. It's going to tell you how many courses you've had, how many you've completed. All the courses that are active will be listed here. Again, like I talked about that repository of training, you'll have your courses, any sort of certificates that you've earned through your training will always stay here. So you can log in as the account as many times whenever you want to figure out all this type of information. So that's the student portal, and it is secure for you to log in there and have access 24/7. Once you log in, there's the course lessons and topics, or the modules, whichever way you want to look at it. This is a sample of what you would see if you logged into the PIAI, the one for new members. Like I said, that very first lesson is going to be that membership application, as well as the information. And then here's all the different training modules, the lessons and the topics that we talked about. This is what we would call all the lessons. That's just the word from our learning management system. The top line is the lesson. Once you click on the title of your lesson, it will pop out to the left side. So then you'll have a nice little kind of outline. If it's got a white circle, that means you haven't completed it. If it's got that red circle with a check mark, it's completed. So then as you kind of go along, you can see all the information where you started. So if you want to work 2 hours on the course, you need to take a break, you're coming back for an hour tomorrow, you know exactly where you can pick up as you left off the last time you logged out. Once you click on one of those lessons, here's what a topic's going to look like. So the topics is just going to have that reading material for you. And this says mark complete, but I think it may say next lesson. Either one, it's going to have one of those. You'll click on that red button and just progress, kind of literally click through each topic under each lesson so that you can mark that complete and progress through the course. Like I said, we've got that membership application for the PIAI right there in the course. I mean, it's literally a form that all you have to do is just start filling out the information. You don't have to download a PDF and try to figure out how to email it back to us. It's right there. I think it's 3. You have to hit next 3 times so that we could get all the information in there. And it's in there for you guys to fill out. So that's kind of how the course is set up. Once you finish the course, like we talked about, there's a quiz and then there's certificate. And I'll show you both of those really quick. As you start the quiz, you can click on, you read the question, you just click on the answer. As you click on the answer, you hit next and save. Go through, again, on this training, you'll go through 100 questions, multiple choice, true, false. And once you finish, you will see in an immediate your results, you know exactly how you did. And you can take the quiz over again if you want to. If you want to take it again to kind of see what you missed, you will have a button that you can click on that will show you the questions that you got right and wrong so that you can learn that way as well. Once you finish, there is a downloadable certificate. And this is what I was talking about. If you take more courses from us, or if you just take this course, whichever works best for you, if you click on certificate, you are going to have a downloadable certificate that's going to be branded with the NITA material, all of our information on there, your name that you finished it, the name of the course, and the date that you completed. And I'm going to show really quick, this is like a 2-minute video. This will kind of just summarize everything I talked about, but show it to you more in a visual version. NITA offers state-approved courses in 4 categories: pre-licensing, state exam preparation, continuing education, and professional development. Let me show you how easy it is to enroll, take a class, and complete your training. Under courses, choose your course of study and select your state. Pick the course you want and click Add to Cart. After completing your purchase, you will receive a confirmation email with instructions for setting up your student login and password. To access your courses, just click the Login tab in the upper right corner and enter your login information. Here, you can view your classes as well as your progress. To begin a course you've enrolled in, simply click on the course name on your account page. Every course includes helpful information you can easily access by clicking Resources. Each course is made up of lessons and topics, which you'll see on your sidebar. As you complete each one, be sure to mark it complete. If you're taking continuing education or state pre-licensing courses, you'll need a minimum number of study hours. The timer in the upper left-hand corner shows how much time has elapsed. At the end of each course, you'll take a quiz that reinforces your knowledge of the material covered. After successfully passing that quiz, you'll have access to your downloadable certificate. Sorry, that ended kind of abruptly, but I just kind of wanted you to see in a visual from the video of how the process works from the time that you choose the course to the time that you log out. And just one more thing I want to go over, and I kind of already mentioned this, but wanted to make sure that you guys felt good about this and secure about this. We meet and exceed all website security protocols that we have to have. We actually have a fabulous IT company that we work with. They do daily backups for us. They monitor any type of malicious attacks that we would hope that we don't have, but if they do have, and then we make sure that everything is in a secure platform. All of our measures, all of our proprietary information is on the online. Is we have all the industry leading cybersecurity that you would need to know, with all the security measures in place, as well as the point of sale that we use. Like I said, you can use all of these different types of payment plans, and our POS provider through Clover is a PCI DSS compliant company, and we have to go through several questionnaires and several audits with them every year as well. So kind of in conclusion, we're super excited to be a partner with you guys here at the PIAI. Would love for you guys to sign up for the course, but ask me any questions. If you need anything from us. I wanted to add my name with my email. The 800 number gets you directly to our voicemail, but if you need me directly, that 993 number is a direct number to me. If I am available, I will answer the phone. If not, leave me a message, and I promise I get back within 24 hours. And then there's a link to our website as well. So we are super excited to be part of this, work with the PIA. We have thoroughly enjoyed working with Claire and Pat so far in the process, and we look forward to working with the rest of you guys as we go forward.
Thank you so much, Sandra. This is just so exciting. I'm having a little trouble believing we're actually getting it to happen. Let's see, chip away and chip away at something, and then all of a sudden there it is live. So this looks great. Guys, now is a good time just for the next 5 minutes or so. If you have questions that have not been answered yet, I will highlight that if your questions are to do with membership in the PIAI, the best person to speak with about that will be Chris Swan. And I've put his message or his email into the chat, but I'll do it one more time. You can email him directly about questions regarding PIAI membership. He handles all of that. So I see one question that's come through that I think would be good maybe for a couple of us to talk to. Sandra, maybe you can speak to this. Somebody asked, would I be able to use the certifications in your organization out of state, or do I have to be in state? Well, that I'll just say up front kind of ties directly into, I mean, these are not state requirements at this point. For Idaho, you can practice in Idaho, and you don't have to be licensed or certified in any way. So at this point, as far as inside Idaho goes, this is about industry regulation. We're kind of regulating ourselves. It's a way of establishing that we are serious. We're doing a good job. We're doing this to a high standard that aligns with the standards in most other states. There's a range of them, but we're really trying to hit that middle zone of standards to say we're doing a good job. We are serious about what we do. As far as being out of state and the purpose of having multiple certifications or licenses or registrations, Sandra, did you want to speak to what the value of that might be?
Yeah, I'll be happy to answer that too. I mean, like Claire just said, I mean, what you get from this would be proof and a training certificate that you completed this hours and that you have the certification in Idaho. If you are looking to get certified in another state, say you want to become a private investigator, say in California or in New Mexico, you do need to know those licensing requirements for those states. This certificate would not work for that per se, because each state has their own rules and regulations. So if anybody has questions about a particular state, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be glad to help you and work on that. But yeah, this would really just kind of be that enhanced industry knowledge in that certification that you have that accelerated training here in Idaho. It wouldn't really work for, say, I'll use Florida as an example because it's my backyard. Florida, you have to take the Florida specific training approved by the state here, if that answers the question.
That's great. Thank you. Did you mention, I think you said Steve Cassell has what, 30
Oh, yeah,
different state
at least, yeah.
licenses at this point in time. And that's
Yeah.
pretty common throughout the industry. I think it's typical in my experience when I bump into people that they've tried to accumulate, credentials in the places where they practice. And that might be, 5, 10, 20 different states. So yeah, I think it's valuable. It's valuable as a way of saying I've met requirements in multiple different jurisdictions.
And I'm going to answer that question that I just saw Sally ask. You didn't see New York or Michigan. So the states that we listed where we offer pre-licensing training, that is because it's required by the state. So a lot of other states, such as New York or Michigan, they may not require the pre-licensing training. They may not say, hey, if you're going to get your license, you have to have 40 hours or 70 hours, but they will require either criminal justice type education and or work experience. And then again, the whole adage, if you don't have work experience, how do you get the job? Then most states like New York and Michigan, you would just find employment with the agency there and gain your experience that way.
We will give it a couple more minutes. If anybody really wants to join this raffle and hasn't joined it yet, do it now. This is your chance. Actually, that clock's ticking pretty fast. Just put your name, your email into the chat, Sydney. If you're talking about the raffle. I see that question there. For the raffle, if you haven't put your name and your email in, put your name and your email in and you'll get entered automatically. Sandra, while we're sitting here, you've told me a little bit about just the range of state requirements. I thought that was pretty fascinating as a topic, just to learn that some states require, like, what is the high end and the low end? If I can just ask you a pop quiz.
Yeah, the high end that I know of in Georgia, you have to have 70 hours to become a private detective employee and work for an agency there. Florida is 40 hours. Illinois is 20. 12 in Minnesota. So it just kind of all depends on the state and their requirements. And then like Florida requires you to have 40 hours, but then they don't require continuing education. So it has been very fascinating over my years of doing this, how each state is so incredibly different, but still the same, with the same kind of like you guys are working here with the same intent of having that education and that licensing, so that makes sure that we have the integrity within industry.
We have a question from Sydney Pinkston saying hours as in like internship hours before becoming official.
That depends on the state. Here, let me do this. I'm gonna add a link to my staff did a really good job about how to get the different rules in each state. I'm like, did a guide. I'm gonna add, if I add it to the group chat, does that work?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I'm going to add this to the group chat. So there's a great link back to our website. My SEO team and my content writers got together and we created a kind of how-to for each state. So that will give you what you need in each state in terms of either experience or licensing, and if we offer that training or if it's even available.
That's really helpful. Okay, well, Chris, are you ready for this raffle thing? I think we might be at that time.
Yeah, well, I just had two. Can you hear me? Am I off mute?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, let me just add the two last entries in here. Marvis. Okay.
Are we giving
I'm
away?
ready.
Are we giving away one or two? I don't remember now. What are we doing?
We are giving away one $100 Amazon card. Well, first of all, I'm Chris Swan. I am the membership chairman, and I also handle social media for the PIAI, and I put all of the links to all our social media in there. Please like us, follow us, all of the above. We put out a lot of information on, well, all the webinars, of course, and any other training that could be coming up. Thank you, everybody, for participating in the webinar today. It's kind of exciting, the future of the PIAI. I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, without further ado, I've got everybody. This is going to be old school. So everybody's in the hat. Let's see who's buying dinner. And
You need a little drum roll.
The winner is Ruben Del Portillo. Good job, Ruben. I'll be getting a hold of you, Ruben. I have your email already, and we will facilitate getting that Amazon gift card to you. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Chris. And thank you, Ruben, for coming. I think that that's great. I'm glad you won. Thanks to everybody else as well for inviting people. We had a bunch of invited people in this webinar. It was great how many of you brought others along with you. And to all of you, we're just happy to have you here for this exciting event. If you want to find us, as you know, like visit us on any of the social medias that Chris shared in our chat. We're all over the place at this point, pretty easy to find. We also have the website, main website. We also have the YouTube channel. And this presentation, like all of our others, will be up there probably later today or tomorrow. You'll be able to find this if you need to go back and revisit any of the details on this one. And aside from that, Sandra, thank you so much. Tell Steve we were sorry he couldn't make it, but you were amazing as a presenter. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. We'll have Steve come back the next time.
Definitely. And everyone else, have a great day.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a great day.
You too.